football, baby.
Hey, congrats on getting that thumbnail correct.
Yeah, I knew you were going to be tired today and sassy, so I was like,
Producer Ray gets a win one every 3 shows.
Yep, just like the Patriots.
I mean, I've literally went in there and laid out the template for everything that we needed last week. You just had to go change week 4 and download it. So
and
kudos,
the team
you
name.
did.
And the team name.
You're right. Sorry, and the team name.
So that was 2 things I had to do. So
text change.
You
know what?
You excelled in both.
Thank you.
You know what's a real tap on your shoulder is you didn't fuck it up. Not only did you get it done, you didn't fuck it up. So congrats.
Everyone wins sometimes, baby.
Not bad.
Not bad. That's not bad.
Not bad at all. I'll tell you what is bad. This fucking Patriots team. Here we sit on a Monday night, 8:00. Generally, we do these a little bit earlier. I was on the road. Apologies. So we've had a little bit longer to stew after that fucking poop stew that we had to watch. Now, to be fair, we did call it. I mean, that was pretty close to the score. We were all in agreement that it was going to be, except for maybe Ray. Ray probably had him winning because he's an idiot.
No, I didn't. No, I did not. No.
We thought they were going to get crushed, but there were certain key performance indicators, KPIs, if you would, in the business world that we were looking for. And, here's the show. We're going to tell you whether they hit them or not. Spoiler, they didn't. Let's do some quick opening takes before we roll into pros, cons, and observations. Ray, you get to go first.
Thanks, Rich. This show is called Pros, Cons, and Observations, but we don't need any pros because there's none of that out there on week 4. The 49ers just came in, and every mental mistake that the Patriots had, they capitalized on. Jacoby Brissett looks like a bum. I don't even think the offensive line is that bad of a problem. I mean, they are, but Jacoby Brissett looks like he's seen ghosts out there. This team is awful. I don't even think a quarterback change is going to make things different. I think the whole regime change needs to happen. That's my opening take.
Okay, fair enough. Good opening take. The show's called Snapshot.
Yeah. But we do.
Let's go ahead with Bobby's opening take.
Yeah, this is a bad football team, and it's going to be a terrible season. I think the overall viewing product might be worse than last year because now we see it coming the whole way. The team's so bad it has me questioning on my steadfastness if Drake May should even come in. This team blows.
Yeah, pretty fair sentiment across the board there. Here's my opening take, Ray. And just in a response to you guys, because I basically feel the same way. But let me play a little devil's advocate from the side of some type of optimism. And Bobby, you put it in there. There were plays to be made. There were some plays to be made out there, and they just didn't do it. And a large portion of this game, the reason for it going sideways so quickly was the Patriots turning the ball over, which has not been the case most of this season. So, look.
Unless you're Ramondre Stevenson.
Well, we'll get to that. But, he wasn't losing them. They were winning the turnover battles. So, look, we know that it's a bad football team. We know that it's a rebuilding football team. Again, we're looking at key indicators to see if they can improve week to week. They didn't this week, but there is some opportunity on the margins of suck that they could actually try and be competitive. That's my optimistic take. I can't say much more in that.
How the fuck can you play devil's advocate after watching that poo-poo of a game yesterday?
I'll tell you right after this. This is the Silverman Sports Show. What's the show called, Ray?
Snapshot. Patriots
Snapshot. Week 4. Patriots versus the 49ers. Welcome to the show.
I do a condensed version, just so.
I was just going to type you. Let the whole thing roll. Because what's a fucking 7-second introduction song to a show? The Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Mayo are friends. What the fuck? Apparently, they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
I'm on vacation. I'm gonna quay all these. I'm gonna fucking watch them this week.
Do you say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's QUE. You idiot.
Thank you. I just feel like we're really taking away from the audience, not letting them watch you say quay every show, you know, or listening to you say quay.
It makes
It's
you
okay.
guys laugh.
Your podcast producer instincts are that of the likes of Jacoby Brissett behind center. It's not great, but it does the job.
Overly
It's there.
conservative.
It's there to fill a position. That's all I'm doing.
Overly conservative. Can't quite see the seam, but
Exactly.
you know,
Always looking over your shoulder, worried if you make a mistake.
always gets back up though. Bobby plays to the whistle.
Yep.
That's true.
That's what this guy does. Plays to the whistle. Simple minds. Welcome to the show. All right, we're gonna go pros, cons, and observations from Chief Bobby. I also got another segment that we've done in the past called just Rich's Notes, where it's just me rambling angrily into my notepad on my iPhone watching the game, blurbs. So sometimes funny comes out of that. Mostly it's just a recall of how shitty the game was. So we'll do that to kind of end the show. Let's start with Bobby, who had to spice this thing up because the game was so bad. So there's some lines in here.
It's a gem of an email.
It made me chuckle. It made me chuckle reading it. Right off the bat, here's the first one. I think this was directed at you, Ray. If its and buts were like how your mom licks my nuts, this game would have gone much differently. It's definitely.
So how differently would it have gone? Like worse or better?
Ejaculation.
Yeah, generally it ends pretty good.
Well, I didn't know.
New
Like
England-
it depends on whose mom it was. Like you're saying. So if it was your mom, I didn't know if it was better or worse. That's all.
No, I said it was your mom because she's.
Oh, you said I assume. I said you said I assume.
That's
'cause my
true.
mother's
Make an
a
ass
fool.
out of you and me, but the only ass we're talking about is your mother's. New England turnovers lead to 17 of the 49ers points. Specifically, Stevens' fourth turnover in 4 games led to the field goal, immediately followed by Jacoby Brissett's pick 6, 13-0, game over. Let's start. I just mentioned the opening takes. Look, through 3 games, turnovers were not really an issue other than Stevenson. We can start with Stevenson. Let's just start with Stevenson. 4th fumble in 4 games, second one lost, and the penalty Coach Vibes put on this player for fumbling the ball 4th time in 4 games was 1 series on the bench, which may have been scheduled anyway. We don't know, but that was it. No benching for Ramondre Stevenson. Just a attaboy. You get him next time there. God damn, every fucking. Hey, got an apple? Apple a day. Okay.
Don't forget your drink. Don't forget your drink.
We
You
don't
gotta
have
save sense
to.
for when this podcast is going on.
Okay, you want to say bye?
Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Finn.
Weekly appearance. Thank you, Finley. What did you think of the Patriots game yesterday?
It was good.
It was good. So there you go. There's a little positivity.
There
Finley,
it is.
did Daddy swear a lot during the Patriots game yesterday?
She left.
I'll go fuck myself. Thank you.
She knows when to get out of here. She heard that, Uncle Ray. All right, we'll see you, buds. There you go, Bobby. What do you think? Stevenson only getting benched. Should he have been benched more? Did it matter? Do they need him? Are you setting a tone there, or do you ruin the guy if you bench him? Is his fragile mentality? What do you think, Coach Five? Does it say more about Coach Five's inability to run a team and a roster, and what we're seeing, the rest of the roster look like? Your take on all that?
Listen, I mean, you can't bench him for the game. They don't have enough good players to field a team. So you need to walk a line between sending a message for his fumbling, but also still he's an integral part of their backfield. They're a running football team, and he's their best running back. So he does still need to play. I think discipline has to take it some other form that isn't an in-game punishment. I don't know exactly what that is, but he does need to manage it because you can't fumble 4 games in a row. He is a big part of. setting the tone for the beginning of that loss. I mean, he fumbled on like what, the 20, 25-yard line. They were right in. The defense actually, they played fine up until really, they played okay. The defense wasn't the main problem, but they were set up to fail.
Raymond?
I don't think Ramondre is the best player on the team. I think Gibson has been proving himself that he can be the pass catching running back that they have, and also he can get the carries in the big moments. Ramondre is just a mental case right now, and I don't think there's any fixing him right now. I think you got to give him a break, maybe a game. Just tell him to sit down, watch the game, call it like a healthy scratch, or just make up an injury. But he needs to get his head straight because obviously he's got the yips.
Yeah, the fumbling, ball security with the running backs a difficult one to manage as a head coach, unless you're Bill Belichick, and then you know if you're Stephen Ridley, you sit for an entire year and then try to come back. But when you're drafting a quarterback every third and fourth round, you can do that, which they haven't done. So, Bob, you got a good point. Ray, you got a good point. I think we're going to come to this conclusion with all of these points. They're fucked one way or another because the roster is so bad and the coaching staff is so inexperienced and also maybe bad that, you know, rock in a hard place. Every decision is going to look like the bad one. However, I still bench Stevenson there, not for Stevenson, but for the rest of the team to say, look, you guys can't get away with this. This guy's in his own head, sure, but like you're out for at least for the rest of the half. Go sit down, go to the locker room, do some push-ups, whatever. Get a shot in your ass. I don't know what they do, but fucking just shape up.
Do you think he's going to be able to last the whole season, though? Do you think that if they keep him in and he keeps having these problems, that he's going to last the whole season, or you think he's just going to be one of these things where they give him a healthy scratch and be like he needs to get his head straight, like a Stephen Ridley?
You can't continue to turn the ball over every game. I mean, if they're averaging one fumble lost a game from Ramondre Stevenson, no, he has to sit down. Then diminishing returns of him being a good player on your roster is not the case anymore because he's costing you games. So
would that be a X mark for Elliott Wolf because he did sign him to that big contract for the running backs?
Running backs get fumbling problems. It happens. Remember Adrian Peterson had like a year like that where he was fumbling the ball.
He was also beating the shit out of his child too. So
yeah,
spending all his money.
18 million, I think he owes some like back taxes for.
Yeah, turns out he's not the best guy.
No, kind of a piece of shit. Speaking of a piece of shit, Jacoby Brissett pick six. God damn, that was bad. Horrible on so many levels. I mean, great play by Fred Warner. Fucking awesome play. But Jesus, like he had two guys open to his right, can't see the field, had enough time. Like, just kind of the epitome of this team and Jacoby Brissett. And to my point of the tiny little incy bit of optimism that maybe you can take from it, there are a couple plays out there that Alex Van Pelt is scheming up in this system. We can get to why it's not really working basically ever, but on the handful of times it works during the game, Jacoby Brissett's not executing it. Point blank. And that one was obviously the worst example of that, throwing it into the other guy's hands.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of plays left on the table. He just flat out is not playing well. 168 yards was the season high, and he's just if they're serious about a season, I mean, this week 5 coming up is their last stand, so we'll see how they take it, what they do with it.
We'll get to the Drake May thing in a second. Obviously, it's going to be a big topic, but let me move on to the next observation, or the first observation of the show. The defense makes the quarterback look like an MVP candidate, unless you're a lesbian in transition like Joe Burrow and Purdy. Although Purdy looked pretty good. Joe Burrow, I guess Joe Burrow kind of.
The numbers back me up, though. The numbers back me up. I've included those.
We'll get to those in a second here, but that's true. The defense is not blameless in this one, but 23 points given up in today's NFL should keep you in a competitive game.
You should have the ability to win that football game.
Yeah. So going on to the non-lesbian quarterbacks that the Patriots played this year so far, Geno Smith in week 2 versus the Patriots, 33 for 44, 327 yards, 1 touchdown. Geno Smith the following week against the Dolphins, 26 of 34, 289 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks against not a great Dolphins team there. So
notice
good example of the Patriots letting Geno Smith walk all over them. The
Geno
same
Smith is not a lesbian. Is that what I'm just making sure? I'm just putting that
Yes,
in my
no,
notes.
not. He is not a
A
lesbian.
He
lesbian.
is not.
Okay, thank you.
Therefore, he played well against the Patriots
I'm
secondary.
just making sure. I'm just putting it on my
In
notes.
defense, he also was punched in the face by his teammate for $600 and lost the starting quarterback job. Never forget. Also, not a lesbian. Brock Purdy. Wait.
No.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
no, no.
Skip one. Aaron Rodgers, week 3 versus the Pats, 27 for 35, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns. The following week against the Broncos, 24 of 42, 225 yards, 0 touchdowns, and a real pouty face on the sideline. Real pouts over there from Rodgers. Clearly not a lesbian, though. Brock Purdy, week 3 against the Rams, 22 of 30, 292 yards, 3 touchdowns. Week 4 against the Patriots, 15 of 27, just 288 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
Stats.
Lesbian.
Stats.
Flirting lesbian level there. And the picture that Bobby sent along really says 1,000 words.
I didn't have time to get that in there.
If anyone does not listen to the show, this is the first time they've listened to it, I've not seen the meme of Joe Burrow walking into the stadium from week 3 that just says Joe Burrow is a lesbian. This is the Simple Mind Sports Show. That made us laugh very, very much. And therefore, it will be an ongoing joke for the rest of the year.
It will be a theme for this NFL season, yes.
Well, Bobby wanted to bring a lesbian back. Bobby wanted to bring lesbian back also. That was part of the text exchange.
Oh, I'm working. I'm pushing it, baby. I'm pushing it.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Carpet muncher or something too?
Someone said a little too hard.
Whacking off.
Whacking off.
Just going to do a little whacking off. Basically, the Patriots O-line took Sunday and just did some whacking off instead of actually
But Andrews
blocking.
went into the locker room to whack off early.
Yeah, because he was sick of getting his ass kicked. So yeah, maybe we're shoehorning this lesbian thing in there a little bit. However, I'd like the segment, did the Patriots defense
plays
make this
great.
quarterback look like a lesbian or not? And that might catch on.
Yeah.
Either way, look, lesbian or not, Brock Purdy chewed you up when he needed to. Okay. One of the biggest things I saw from the Patriots defense, same thing we've seen against Rodgers and Geno Smith. The middle of that defense is susceptible to any quarterback. I don't care who you are, what gender you are. They're gonna chew them up. Their safeties blow. Duggar went out in this game. You have no Juwan Bentley. They didn't sign any safeties. They didn't sign any cornerbacks, but those are your best players on the team right now. Jonathan Jones, Marcus Jones, and Christian Gonzalez are the best players on the team right now, period. Keon White had his day in the sun the first couple weeks, but that son of a bitch can't hold an edge to save his fucking life. Time after time, especially on third down, Purdy just rolling out, either scrambling for the first or buying time and finding an open receiver. Not setting the edge against the Jets. Mayo came out and said that was a big point of emphasis going into the Jets game. Failed. Obviously, again today or on Sunday, failed. So a lot of question marks there. Is the defense, not obviously they're not disciplined, but are they not good enough? Is Mayo not a good enough coach? Where's DeMarcus Covington fall into this? What are your thoughts on the defensive edge and line, making Brock Purdy look straight?
I just think this.
Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
I just think the defense is just playing lackluster. I mean, they're playing on their side of the 50 every time they get the ball. It seems like. Hi, Finley again. It's just one of those things where the defense is coming up and they're like getting handicapped already because they have terrible field position because the offense is either going 3 and out or turning the ball over. So they're tired. It's just one of these things where I would like to see a well-rested defense with a offense that's actually pushing the ball down the field and giving the time for the defense to rest, but you just can't see that. So it's just one of those things where it's ridiculous. And I think the defense is getting the bad rap when they shouldn't be.
Yeah, my take is more of a Covington take. I think in general he's coming from this Patricia bend don't break school. I mean, you look at those quarterback numbers. Quarterbacks have days. They move the ball. They're not giving up an excess amount of points. And clearly, if you're just looking at it statistically, but how they said they wanted to attack and dominate, that must have just been rhetoric because they're really not trying to do that. They're just trying to keep everything in front of them. And I think they're just trying to, it's almost like they're just trying to manage losses, really. But the defense, it's much more of that Patricia school. They're not an attacking defense.
Well, I'll give this to Covington. He lost Juwan Bentley one week and then Duggar the next week. So
That's fair.
keeping things in front of him may be a communication situation. And Gerard Mayo, one of the things he said after the game was our communication has just been horrible on the field, on offense and defense. So if you want to give them an excuse there, they've lost their play callers on defense between Bentley and Duggar. That's certainly the case. But I'm looking at it and going, especially in games where like, you're losing, the defense has to make a play, and your top players are your cornerbacks who can play some man coverage. Why don't you send some extra rushers? Because not a soul on that line can get to the quarterback outside of Keon White, who seems to be boom or bust from week to week now anyway. So why don't you send some extra rushers, play man, send somebody deep in safety, and actually try to be aggressive enough to make something happen. Because certainly the offense can. This is where I come back to Mayo. Like, are you playing to win the game, or are you just going out there and developing or pretending to develop or trying to develop and failing at it, which is what it feels like. It doesn't feel like they're coming into games with game plans or strategy or adjustments that's going to give them an edge. It just feels like they're coming in with what they're trying to do and try to get better at it, and it's like, that's high school football.
That's a good synopsis of what they do.
Do you know what's funny too is that we've been playing they've been playing for a month now. It doesn't seem like anyone's getting better. It's like everyone's taking a step back like every week. Like it's getting worse, not better. Like by now you should be seeing people, all right, this guy's doing this. There's an upside to this. You can actually see this guy for next year, blah, blah, blah. And it's just one of these things where you look at the whole team and it's just like everyone regresses every week and it's just no one's getting better.
I'd like you to put some goddamn respect on Joey Sly's name after that.
I'm sorry. I wasn't talking about special teams though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Behringer and Sly, they're nasty.
They are nasty.
Yeah.
That's what you get with opportunity.
Mm.
Opportunity galore for those guys, especially Behringer. Most guys. And I think Jalen Polk's a guy you can feel okay about as somewhat of an up, but
I think he'd had a normal quarterback.
The rest of the team, as a whole, is not getting better. Here's the next observation. Bob's on a roll here. Pam Oliver during the post-halftime piece looked like a zombie from The Walking Dead. Get that woman off TV immediately. There was something strange about her vibe and her look going on.
They did this whole thing where like they presented her like some sort of award for being there, but she looked fucking miserable. Like she get her off TV. She is terrible and hideous.
I think Pam Oliver's down. Like I was watching the same thing, and she had like a tattoo on her hand or like on her finger, and I feel like Pam like gets down. She's like maybe wearing it a little bit. Maybe that's why she's not looking her best. She maybe had a night out there in San Francisco. Yeah, but I feel like she gets
by a few players.
She looked like a bulldog.
Hey, I like Pam. Pam's good.
Nope.
Con offense puts the defense in terrible position time after time, gave it 23 points. Not enough pressure to bother opposing quarterbacks. Once the opponent scores over 10 points, it's over. Certainly a lot of stuff we just talked about. However, look, you come, you have the drive before half where you're in field goal position. Somehow you lose a bunch of yards through, again, shitty play. Let's just label it as that. And Joey Sly saves the day with a 63-yarder to give you a field goal going into halftime. You get the fumble after halftime, turn that into a touchdown. All of a sudden it's 20-10. You're like, well, shit. Maybe they can do something here. Got a little luck on their side. And then bingo bango. Shanahan just dangles his dong right on your forehead, toying with you, draws up a, whatever the 54-yard play to Deebo Samuel, right up the middle, right in front of your gaping hole of a position that is free safety that you've yet to fill. Anybody want to throw a?
Let's call it Kathy, but nope.
Okay. No, I didn't like that. The free safety position is a massive problem for this team, and they got annihilated in that category. Okay. Especially on that team. So, the 10 points thing certainly is an indicator for the offense. And every time the Patriots had a chance down in the red zone, whether there was an interception or a sack or something stupid, or a fourth down conversion that they couldn't complete because of bad play calling. I don't know. Take it from where you want that. Actually, no. That fourth down that they scored the touchdown on, the third fourth down, really a significant fourth down of the day. The first one, they tried to draw them off sides, didn't go for it on fourth.
They tried to do that like 18 times.
Yeah, we get it, Mayo. They could see it coming.
I know, you're so slick.
The fact that they ran that play action boot to Austin Hooper, like, no kidding, he was wide open because no one thought that they
holy shit, they hiked the ball.
Have this in the playbook? They should run that every fucking time until someone defends it and then go back to the run. I feel like that's basic coaching, basic play calling.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what the fuck are they doing? The fourth down when they got stopped, just a direct run with Stevenson, no creative mode, no
So
motion,
bad.
nothing. It's so hard to pinpoint where things go wrong in these games. I guess I'm leaning towards offensive coaching and play calling right now, but you could just as easily sway me back to the players, depending on what you want to talk about.
But there's no way that Mayo has faith in fucking Alex Van Pelt because he trash talks him after every game. Every press conference, he talks about how, the offense didn't do this, the offense didn't do that, pretty much pinpointing it all on Alex Van Pelt. So is it Alex Van
There's
Pelt?
already dysfunction. There's
Yeah,
dysfunction there.
There was dysfunction before the season. I remember the whole hoopla before the season started about the Drake May. When's he going to start? Is he going to be the starting quarterback? No, Jacoby Brissett's my guy, blah, blah, blah. All that shit. So who brought this guy in? It's obviously not Mayo because Mayo's talking shit about him even before the season started.
Yeah, Mayo had no call in any of it. The keys were handed to Elliot Wolf, and he built out the roster and he built out the staff. And I'm sure Mayo was in the meetings next to Jonathan and Robert, and they were patting him on the head and said, "This is how we do things up here, Gerard. One day you'll get your shot. We're gonna deny Nick Caley his salary that he wants to bring in a new age offense, and we're not going to go look at the Kubiak kid that's running things down in New Orleans. We're going to take this 55-year-old fat guy." And then I heard Ben McAdoo's on the street, so we'll bring that fucking idiot in here, and we'll just scrape up the disregards of all the NFL franchises' offensive minds, and it'll be fine because we're the Crafts. We got 6 banners up there, baby. We win.
I did that.
We did that. So fall in line, motherfuckers.
Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
To your point, though, like there's players on the field, and
There
Alex
was players on the field.
had a decent offense in Cleveland with decent players. So, like, look, let's just leave it at that. What your big con?
The game unfolds once the game declares itself, and then there's plays to be made. Then the players just aren't good enough to make them, and the coaches aren't doing the right things to create more of those opportunities. But when you watch that game, as bad as it was, I could still see a path how they could have won that fucking game. It's stupid to fucking say, and it's probably homerism, but when I watched that football game, they still could have won it. It was still basic NFL football. These two teams aren't that different. The Patriots just fucked everything up.
Yeah. I mean, talent probably wins out in the end, but you're right. There was opportunities to be had there, and you summed it up nicely. I've been thinking about it all day, kind of how to sum it up like that. It's like once the game declares itself, the players aren't good enough to keep up, and the coaches aren't good enough to put them in positions to do so.
Yeah. And there's zero ever halftime adjustments. Each half is the fucking same thing. There's nothing changes. And I don't believe that they audible. I've never noticed an audible.
Oh, they don't audible.
I know. What the fuck?
The whole point of the West Coast offense is you don't audible. Brock Purdy didn't audible either. This is why I hate this whole fucking thing. The center calls the protection, and then maybe you change the protection based on what the defensive front is bringing, but the play does not change.
And that's why Brock Purdy is so good.
That's so dumb. It's one thing if you have good players. If you have bad players, you can't let them run a bad play.
Did we talk about this last week, or was it off the show? That's why Shanahan won't win, because maybe Purdy breaks through. Maybe Purdy's good enough, but probably not. I mean, we just declared he's a lesbian, so it's going to be hard for him to overcome that. But beyond that, Shanahan
standing behind me.
Shanahan system, similar to Van Pelt's system, is I'm the offensive mind. I'm on the sideline. I make the right call. Who the fuck are you as the quarterback to change my call?
God, we're fucked.
Yeah.
The 49ers also have weapons that they can.
Yeah, they have good players.
That helps. To pull out Bobby's point is Big Con. The roster is not good enough in crucial positions, quarterback being number one. Take your pick at what's after that. The talent is the difference. Players are there to be made. They weren't able to make them. And a very small pro, week 5, we got the craptastic Dolphins. Patriots last stand. They lose that. All hope is lost.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to argue with that. Okay, let's quickly just do my Rich's notes. All right.
You want those movies at all or no?
What's that?
You want those clips at all or no?
Yeah, let's break this up with Mayo's presser there with WEI.
Ramondre Stevenson, fourth fumble in 4 games. You're talking about protecting the ball. Certainly
That's
something that you don't want to see that happen.
That's right. That's right. Look, I think, as far as this team is concerned, our identity, we got to be able to run the ball, and we got to be able to stop the run and play good special teams. Like, that's what we have with this team right now. We cannot go out there and expect to win games if we're going to turn the ball over. You can't win until you stop from losing, and that's my message for the guys going forward.
When you look at Jacoby Brissett, what did you see on the pick six?
There were guys that were open. Well, a couple guys that were open. I just think it was a bad throw, and I'm not sure. The protection and things like that. Those always come into play, even if the quarterback's not getting touched. It was just a poor decision. Gerard, it was a poor throw. Oh.
Vibes are not great.
Those are not positive vibes.
What was the other one I gave you?
It was just a clip.
It was
Not a clip.
Yeah,
This-
quote. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here's Belichick's vibes in this. He goes on to talk about Gerard Mayo. Quote, "I'll be honest with you. I have no idea what the plan is, so I can't comment on that. If Mayo says he has got a plan, then I guess he's got one, and we'll have to wait and see what it is." That was Bill Belichick on Gerard Mayo and his plan. I'm thinking about Drake May, probably just overall. I'll tell you this. I don't hate Gerard Mayo's comments there. The biggest thing that stood out to me was we're a team that has to run the ball, play good special teams, and stop the run. That's what we have on this team right now.
Nothing about a quarterback.
It is blame fucking pie over there in Foxborough, kids.
Yeah.
Elliot Wolf didn't put the players on the field. Alex Van Pelt can't call the right plays for the players. And Gerard Mayo is just doing his best to band-aid it at every turn would be his story. That's
Hey,
what
if we're
he's
gonna
here to say.
watch a terrible product, at least we get some drama with in-house fighting and all that stuff. Because that was never out in the open before with Belichick. This is out in the open. Everyone can see it. These guys don't like each other. There's finger pointing. I like it.
I fucking hate it. Here's the number one reason I hate it. You're gonna need a new offensive coordinator and you're gonna ruin Drake May, and you're gonna have to start all over again.
I don't think so, because if Elliot Wolf's the one that got him here, I think he's gonna stay.
When
Let me see what I can do with the kid.
When you are dead last in the NFL in 3 and outs, and you are on the path to be dead last in the NFL in offense, and you've got a number 3 overall quarterback, you're out, dude. And your head coach didn't pick you, you're fucking out. And your offense looks like it's from 1989, you're out. Out. Alex Van Pelt doesn't have the cachet to last the fucking dead last season in offensive production. You kidding me? No fucking way. And if they do keep him around just so everyone feels better about their decisions, then the Crafts need to be mercilessly crucified. Like, they need to start honing in their ship.
The only thing I can hope is there was reporting that there is this behind the scenes Drake May offense. And if that exists, if this is just the Jacoby Brissett, let's bang our heads against the wall till we all die offense, then when Drake May gets in there, it's totally different, because this isn't what they ran when he played in preseason, to be fair to them. So if he gets out there and it's a different thing, then fine, then that has to be judged for what it is. But right now, sucks.
Yeah. I just ran through my notes very quickly. We've touched on all. So let's just end the show in the Drake May conversation. When do you want him in? Should he be in? Scott Zolik was calling for him in the second quarter.
Yeah.
On the play-by-play broadcast for the New England Patriots.
Selfishly, yes, because I have to watch these games, but I just don't really know anymore if it's the right thing to do. I do think, though, with a better quarterback, they will win more games. That's the simplest way to put it. But right now, I would honestly have to think about it more if it's the right thing to do long term or not. But to give an answer, I'd say, yeah, put him in, beat the Dolphins.
Raymond?
Not until David Andrews comes back. That's what I would like to see, because this offensive line is banged up. You just got too many different pieces in there. They can't protect it. I'd just rather have someone on the offensive line that knows how to call the schemes, like you were saying, at the West Coast offense, that they got to call different protections. I'd rather have David Andrews in there.
That would help, but he hasn't been any great shakes this year either. No, I'm not playing him. I'm not playing him until there's there's somewhat of a level, solid,
Probably the right decision.
respectable football team out there. They don't have to be good, but they can't look like that. They can't look like last Thursday. They can't look like Sunday. You have to have a representable team. But you're right, Bobby. Plays will be made. There will be more plays like we saw from Jalen Polk that was not a catch, but maybe could have been in second coverage. Great catch by Polk. There will be more of those. Demario Douglas will not run across the field wide open without getting the ball. So you will have more offense. He will also run himself into 19-yard sacks and throw into a tea party of defenders and interceptions. It'll be a more entertaining product. You're just going to fight the are you going to ruin this kid? That's what you'll be fighting the whole time. So I would say diminish those opportunities to ruin this kid till a little further down the line in the season, but not much. I mean, not much. But the bottom, I'm not putting him in because Jacoby Brissett sucks. That's not why he's going in. He's going in when he's ready to go. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be anything else.
Nope.
Okay, well, that's depressing.
Sad beers.
Sorry?
Sad beers.
Beers.
Yeah, a lot of sad beers. I got up and started doing some stuff around the house in the fourth quarter. Then they kind of made that little comeback and like peeked my head in, and then how'd that last drive? Oh, they blew it on fourth down. It's just like fucking losers. I'm gonna cook the burgers now.
Just put your tears in there into the patties.
Yeah. All right. This has been Snapshot Week 4. Patriots versus the 49ers. We'll see you next Monday.
Well, I'll see you Thursday.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Tune in Thursday live, 8:00. Facebook, YouTube. Where else are we, Ray?
Twitch.
Your mother's ass.
Bye-bye.